Alright, hello everybody, Resonance here. So, welcome, of course, to today's live stream. I am going to be starting the stream a little bit differently today than I normally do, which is why I have this big ol' chat brick on the screen. I've been very busy recently, and I've been meaning to do a sort of update video for a while, so I'm starting the stream a little bit early today so that I can address a bunch of your concerns and talk a little bit about my channel in general and the type of things that you guys can expect. So, if you're just interested in watching me play, there's not going to be any gameplay in this video if I upload it to YouTube, and I will be still doing the usual games on Twitch in about 30 minutes when I'm done rambling about some stuff. So if you care at all about the channel and myself, then give it a listen. If you'd like to give me a hand, I'll talk about all sorts of important stuff here. Normally, I would, give myself a list of notes of talking points and things that I would go over if I was doing one of those sort of update videos, but I didn't really have the time to prepare all this, so this is going to be sort of ad-libbed. Thank you, Reaper, for the sub, much appreciated. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to ask me, I'll answer them at the end of my little talk, and yeah. I would like to do a follow-up to this in a month or so, where I can sort of go over this stuff in a little bit more detail, but right now I'm just going to be sort of like rapid-firing through a few things. So anyway, well, Asage, I have to repeat it for all the people who just got here. Okay, so the first thing first is that I have been... Okay, so my channel has experienced a lot of growth recently. In October, I was busy working on the African Kingdoms beta testing, so I helped beta test the new expansion for Age of Empires 2. I did a whole bunch of like bug and balance testing. I'm honored to have been a part of that, and I hope I can continue working with the Forgotten team. So that took up like a lot of my time, and then I was also working on a series of African Kingdoms videos, and then I also had school that I had to deal with, and then my upcoming BlizzCon trip, so that took up a lot of my free time. And of course, if you know me, then you'll know that I have very severe allergies and asthma, so those things all sort of get in the way. My upload schedule has been a little spottier than I would like it to be recently, so that's not really the norm. It's just sometimes stuff happens. The good news is, though, is that the African Kingdoms videos that I uploaded, the first 4 Civ overviews, had tremendously positive reception overall, and I'm really, really happy with that, and I think it led to a lot of channel growth. And that I'm very, very thankful for. There have been a lot of new people who have showed up recently, and I just want to take a moment to formally welcome you to my channel. It's wonderful to have you here. It just seems like there's a little bit of like there's some miscommunication going on between me and my subscribers. I intended to do an upload video at the same time that I did the African Kingdoms content, but I never had the chance to do it. I literally finished editing all of those videos on like 5 a.m. the day before I left for BlizzCon. I was doing bug testing all the way up until the last possible minute, so I didn't really have a time to explain everything that's been going on. And let's see. Shatter says, thank you for all the content you put up for us. It's my first time watching you live. I appreciate all the helpful and good commentary that you do in Age of Empires 2 games. I learned so much in such a little time. Well, thank you so much, Shatter. Welcome to the stream, man. I'll be addressing all people's questions in a little bit after I'm done explaining a couple things. So yeah, we experienced a lot of growth. However, I've noticed recently that I've been getting a lot of negative feedback as well on the things that I've been uploading recently. And take this with a grain of salt because I haven't had much time to, I guess, address all these problems in detail. So over time, you can expect me to do a better job with it. But right now, I'm just going to sort of ad-lib everything, tell you what's on my mind, and then follow up on this later. I have had, like, the most stressful month ever in November, man. Schoolwork has been crazy. My classes this quarter have been out of this world difficult, and I've been working on my transfer application, so I haven't had too much time to manage my channel. And as a result, perhaps the level of content, like the quality, has been dipping a little bit. My uploads have been a little inconsistent. I'm getting a lot of comments from people, and I'm going to try and address most of those concerns here. For one, I just, in terms of match quality, thank you, Shadow, for the sub, really appreciate it. I have not, okay. African Kingdoms is really buggy and broken, so it's very difficult for me to actually get a good quality game. You'll find that most of my games go out of sync, so, just a heads up in advance. If I upload a match and it goes out of sync, please try to understand that almost every game goes out of sync. There's been a lot of lag. It's very difficult getting quality games, so hopefully there's no unreasonable expectations about that. So that's one of the things that I wanted to to bring up. It's very, very difficult to actually get a good game. Another thing that a lot of people have been telling me, and the thing is with this is that I don't blame anybody for getting the wrong idea, because I don't compile all this information anywhere. At some point I would like to, but for people who are like new and they aren't used to my way of doing things, and they don't know what to expect, I don't expect people to like go back and watch like the last 100 videos to know how I do stuff. I try to keep things very open. I'm very receptive to feedback. And like the thing is that I try to read basically all of the comments that I get. I try to read the Twitch chat very, very actively, and that's something that a lot of channels don't do. And that's because I'm a firm believer in this idea that constructive criticism is important, and I think that viewer interaction is just a great way to keep in touch with people, build a positive community. So it's something that I always like to do. But my YouTube comments recently have been getting a lot angrier, and people have been very frustrated. And I would like to, if I can, continue doing what I do and not having to like ignore the YouTube comments. A lot of people will tell me that you know, like you gotta ignore the trolls, but I do see a lot of value in criticism. So that's not something I want to really avoid, but rather I feel like if I do a good job communicating, then people won't be so mad. Seon, thank you so much. Welcome to the stream, man. I'll start playing it a little bit. So another thing that I get a lot is resonance. Not only does your match quality suck, and again, I just haven't had the time to do too much stuff recently. Like, school is my #1 priority. The other thing is that people tell me is like, oh my god, Rez, like, I'm sick of you not trying to win. This is one I get all the time. I am trying to win. There's a huge difference between trying to win and having fun, and people seem to be really frustrated with that recently. It's something that's very difficult for me as a content creator, so I ask that you lighten up a little bit and try and imagine it my way, I guess, which is that people complain a lot if I do something really standard, like a Night Rush, and I just win every game with that. I feel like most people have seen it all the time, and people don't like that when I do that. And so when I try to do something different, people complain that I'm having too much fun, I guess. So it's very difficult to have a good balance there, and it's something that I try to do a good job about. But let me be really clear. Even if I'm trying something unique in terms of strategy, it's not like I'm trying to lose. And I do win, by the way, a lot. In fact, 50% of the videos that I upload is about a 50-50 win-loss ratio, because I think it's important that you learn from both of them. It's not like I'm not trying to win. At least in the higher-rated games, I am always trying to win. There's a difference between trying something that's a little bit different and just not caring at all. I do care, and I am trying my best, and if I lose, it doesn't mean that I was, completely dicking around. You can have fun and try to win, too, so I really hope that people don't think that I'm just throwing matches and just, touching myself during the game, because that's not what I'm doing. If that makes any sense. And I hope that doesn't disappoint people, but like, if you're looking for some guy who's going to Night Rush 24/7, you're literally at the wrong channel, so I don't really know what to say. You can expect me to do that sometimes, but like in the higher rated games, like the Portuguese match on Snake Pit, like I did try my best to win. Was my score not high enough? I don't really get that. The other thing I wanted to say is that for the people who actually respond to the common comments that I get, I really, really appreciate that. And again, guys, I'll answer your questions when I'm done with this. I really appreciate that. Like, every time someone posts a comment and, like, oh my god, where's the 720p? And someone responds to me and says that, like, don't worry, man, like, the video quality options will appear soon. I really, really appreciate that. So, for the people who take the time to help answer common questions for me and answer them on my behalf, it really means a lot to me. So if you are looking for a way to help, that's definitely one of the things that I appreciate a lot. So let's see, I've gone over the match quality thing. What was the other one? Yeah, I do try to win. Like, okay, here's the thing. Bear with me on my philosophy here, and I could be wrong. I am open to feedback as long as you're polite about it. It's just people have been a lot less polite recently, which has been one of my concerns. I don't know if I thanked Reaper for his resub, but thank you, Reaper. Is that a lot of people come here and they want to play with me, and they don't like it's difficult to get a chance to play with me. Like you entered the drawing, everyone has the same chance to win. Thank you, Ellerin, for the resub. Wow. Um, like people don't get that many opportunities to play with me, and I want to make sure that everyone has fun. I guess. So I try not to gang up on them, but it's very rare that you'll see me idling my army. It's just I don't want to like gang up on some guy who's like 1500 rating, right? You know, why would I have to show off that I'm capable of beating somebody who's significantly worse than me? I don't really see the point in that. But I do attack somebody. Like I am trying to win. I'm just trying to not lame people and just gang up on them, if that makes any sense. So yeah, and especially in the higher rated games, I'm trying my hardest to win. So even if I lose, it doesn't mean I was just fucking around. So I really don't want to see people complaining about that. Because that's just not how it is. And I really hope that people don't honestly believe that I'm just sitting here not trying to win and that I'm just throwing games. So I hope no one thinks that, just because sometimes I like to try a more interesting strategy. By the way, if you really want me to read your message, you should wait until I say it's Q&A time, because I'm also trying to talk. Yeah, just because I try like a unique strategy doesn't mean I'm not trying to win. Hopefully that makes sense. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. The mercy thing is mostly for only the lower rated games. For the higher rated games, I'm always trying my hardest. Another piece of feedback that I get that's very common is, Resonance, you need to do only AoE 2 content and nothing else. And this is, I think, an interesting debate. Some people have told me that they think I should start a second channel for non-AoE 2 content. I just want to get this out of the way so there's no misconceptions for the people here who are new. I have never been just an AoE 2 channel. I have no plans to do only AoE 2 content, and if you're not interested in the other stuff, that's totally fine. You don't have to watch it, but, you know, if you like my AoE 2 content, please do me a favor and just put up with the other stuff. Any channel that has any degree of longevity does more than just one thing. As much as I love Age of Empires 2, if I did it all the time, I would not be having nearly as much fun. And it's important for not only my sanity, but the longevity of the channel, that I actually do more than just AoE 2. Because AoE 2 isn't the only game that I play. Whenever I upload something that's not AoE 2, it is not a replacement for AoE 2, but it's just extra content. So I just want to get that out of the way. In terms of starting a second channel, that will never happen. That's a very common misconception on YouTube, that you could just start an alternate channel for like some other games and then it will succeed. Almost all the time, it actually goes incredibly poorly. And I mean, I could go down a list of specific examples, but I don't want to piss anybody off. Really, like, that just does not work, starting another channel. In terms of what I would do in addition to AoE 2, I've always traditionally been mixing it up, and I will do that because not everyone plays AoE 2, and people want to see something a little bit different. If you're not interested, just don't watch it. The thing is whenever I see people frustrated with the way that I do things, or just other people in general, I usually like to attribute it to a miscommunication issue. The way I see it is there's no reason to leave me salty, angry feedback unless you think I'm not listening. And I just want to get this out of the way. I think it's very important that people realize that I read everything. And I do care a lot. That's sort of one of my gimmicks, I guess, is that I'm one of the few YouTube channels, and I would like to keep it this way, that I actually read all of the comments. Obviously, I don't have the free time. No one actually has enough time to respond to each of them individually, but I do read them all. So I want you to imagine before you leave one that Rez actually read that. In fact, I read everything, including all sorts of various forums. Chances are, if you mention me anywhere, I actually read that comment. And that's because I care, and I do actually value the feedback a lot. So I just want people to keep that in mind. There's no reason to ever come to my Twitch chat or YouTube channel and just, get frustrated and think that I'm not listening. I do care, and if I do things a certain way, try to assume that there's a method to my madness. I'm not perfect. You can expect me to make mistakes all the time, and that's why I still read that stuff, because I never want to surround myself in just yes men and have to drown out things that I don't necessarily agree with. Still, though, when I get so many comments complaining about the same things that I felt like I just needed to sort of address it in a little ramble. This is the type of thing where I would like to cover in a specific video in more detail, where I can organize my thoughts and I have my notes written down, and I might do that in the future. But right now, I want to like stem the bleeding a little bit. Hopefully people don't mind. It's like The way I see it is I had two ways to do this. This has been like the most stressful quarter for me ever. It's do or die, man. Like, I either get good grades and I get to transfer schools next year to the university that I want to, or I don't, and then I'm stuck at my community college, and that would be terrible. That would like ruin my life. So I've been really, really busy with that. I have like an hour to 2 hours of free time a day. I take Fridays off just to hang out with everybody, but keep in mind that like there are two ways I could have done this. I could have just not uploaded anything after those 4 African Kingdoms videos until the end of the quarter, which I was considering, or I could have just uploaded what I can, and then hopefully people would understand. But people don't seem to have understood, so I could just take a break. I'm not really sure what the right solution is. Hopefully people don't mind. I am trying my best. I am trying my best. But yeah, no, yeah, someone else. I do read every time someone mentions me, even on like a Zero Empires video or something like that. I do read those comments. So I think it's important that I don't filter that out. Well, thank you, the Black Winds or the Blank Winds. Lady X says, "Don't listen to what they say. If you're having fun, you're having fun." Well, the thing is I'm not having fun right now though because I've been getting so much negative feedback recently, which is fine. It means that I'm doing something wrong, and that means that I'm not communicating very well. What I really wish I did is that I did like an update video before I uploaded those African Kingdoms videos where I just said like, look guys, I'm going to be really busy, so bear with me until the end of the quarter because this is do or die for me. Yeah, this is the final boss of school. Honor says, go around various extreme porn sites dropping comments about Resonance 22. She took that cock like a champ, but Resonance 22's Skirm Halb lineup is superior. Oh my god. Riff Alex says, you get a video about a Berserker Rush and I still watch it. I did, though. And people seem to be more receptive to that, but the African Kingdoms ones, I've been getting so much, like, I don't know. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback, too, so let me just be clear that it's the vocal minority. But I think the minority are mostly new people who don't really know what to expect from me. And to be honest, like, what I would like to do is just take some time and sit down and really think about what I want to do with my channel, because I never really get that time to do that. Right now I'm just sort of on autopilot, and I'm not really sure if that's the correct approach, because it was like, either I don't upload anything, or I'm just sort of autopilot it and just do my Friday thing. I don't know what's the correct approach. Basically, yeah, I could have just not uploaded anything. I'm not 100% sure. Buster says, I think both you and Zach are amazing streamers, great persons. Both of you are very valuable. Well, thank you so much. Another thing is that it's also just not like an issue of I can't always just do what I want, right? Because that's a great way for like quality to dip. Feedback is important. There's a happy balance between things. And two last quick things before I move on. These are Twitch-related issues. People spamming start the game already in my Twitch chat. I'm not going to start the game already. Viewer interaction to me is very, very important. I don't think that I handle everything perfectly, and I am open to ideas, but just spamming 14 doesn't make me, like, start the game earlier. I like to spend the first, like, small part of the stream just answering people's questions and hanging out with you guys. That's why I stream. Because I think that the Twitch chat, just like the YouTube comments, is not something to be ignored, but rather like a great way to just interact with everybody. So please don't do that, ideally. That's just not something that I do. You can always just come back later. Another thing is viewer games. This heavily limits what I do on Twitch, and I just wanted to let you know that what I do is not always going to be in the same format as the Age of Empires 2 stream that you're used to. Even if you're only used to me doing that and you haven't actually seen me play anything else, keep in mind that when I play something, I might not always be doing viewer games. The Age of Empires 2 community stream format really only works for Age of Empires 2. It doesn't actually work for every game, so if I like ever stream something like, I don't know, just listing miscellaneous games, like Hearthstone, Pokemon, Civ 5, who knows, man. I'm not always going to be doing viewer games, so hopefully people don't mind on that. I just want to get that out of the way so that no one expects that. Cowboy Wubwub says, I'm heading out. Okay, see you, Cowboy Wubwub, and thank you. Really appreciate it. Well, Corbik, hopefully you don't mind. It's learning experience, right? So yeah, the thing is that this sort of update video might come across as more negative than it intends to be. I am very, very thankful for all the growth I've had recently. We've hit a lot of like amazing milestones that does mean a lot to me, and I really, really appreciate that. I hit like 20k subs recently, and I think I hit like 3 million views on YouTube. So this is like, these are big milestones for me, and I'm very, very thankful for it. The thing though that I wanted to note is that it doesn't matter to me how many people I have here, but it matters to me how quality they are. The numbers never matter. Like if I feel like a lot of channels just treat their viewers as a number, and then like communities can get frustrated because they feel like their voice isn't being heard and that they're just another thumbs up rating or something like that. I don't believe in that. The amount of people doesn't actually matter to me. I would be happy if I had like 20 people watching as long as they're enjoying the show, having fun. So that's what matters to me the most. And I just want to make sure that the people who are new here, that not only do they feel welcome, but they sort of understand where I'm coming from. I will do follow-up at some point, or at least I plan to, where I explain that in a little bit more detail. And Rose says, don't you think the Celts and the Teutons should get some love? That's not relevant at all, but yeah, not the Celts, no. Teutons, maybe, yes. No problem, Feasible, glad to hear it. Okay, so if anyone has any quick questions before I start transitioning to the actual stream stuff, then let me know. Feel free to ask now. I'll be reading the chat a little bit more, and then I'm going to cut this, maybe post it on YouTube, and then we're actually going to go play some games. Again, the other thing is that if you would like to give me a hand during this period of intense academic stress, and just in general, is answering comments on my behalf. Common ones like, why is the video quality bad? It's because, YouTube takes like 30 minutes to process stuff. That's when people answer questions on my behalf, it means a lot to me. And trust me, if you say anything about me, whether it's good or bad, somewhere I did read it, and it really does help. Like, it means a lot to me. You guys are the heroes, and 99% of the stuff that I hear is awesome, and I look forward to talking with each and every one of you and getting to know you all on a more personal level. So even though I'm addressing criticisms here, that doesn't mean that I haven't heard some good stuff too, and you all mean a lot to me, and I'm glad that we're here. We're all here, of course, to share our love of one of my favorite games of all time, Age of Empires 2. I don't really have a coherent theme yet for the channel, besides me just playing things that I love, but I think the general idea is just to make competitive games more approachable, understandable, and fun for people. So that's why I'm here. Okay, Ice Age County. Geo Waypoint says, I haven't been able to watch Resonance 22 streams much, but this channel seems to be enjoyed by players ranking skills between noobs and very skilled. Some fluctuations in opinions. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad you think I'm doing a good job. And yeah, there's always going to be ups and downs. It's no problem. King Razzle Dazzle says, do you know who's top rated in Roundabout? That would be Tato, actually. Mate Dude says, what are you studying again? That would be poli-sci. That's what I'm currently doing. Lo says, we'll be able to make some tutorials for different strats. Yes, I've just been like, you guys have no idea how like stressful and busy I've been. I am in way over my head. My classes this quarter, I messed up. My schedule is ridiculous. But after this, it should be more or less smooth sailing. Once it hits about December 14th, that's when I'm done with my finals. I should have some time to upload more often and go do some more stuff. It's not poli-sci homework that's dragging me down, by the way. Try Eagle Rushing. It's on the to-do list for all of those. Permitted Zebra says, can you make a gaming setup video at some point? Sure. Tamara says, what are your thoughts on school or just school in general? School's fun. Way too hard right now. Slash S says, will you be uploading any 1v1s or non-viewer games? Yes, but again, not right now. I'm very busy. Ladiak says, want to say thanks for forming an amazing section of the AoE2 community and bringing it to life, you rock. Thank you, Ladiak. Tasmanian says, where can I play this game online? Buy it on Steam. I used to also play it at GameSpot with a green man with a mask. GameSpy. But yeah, you want to get the Steam one. You can play that either on Voobly or on Steam. Radio Today says, thanks for all the work, including the extra 30 minutes to speak your mind. Keep up the levels of communication up. Yeah, that's something that I've been trying to do. So I will be posting updates semi-frequently on Facebook now, or at least I'm going to really try to. Thank you, The Zinc. Fabric says, I'm not sure how Twitch works and what's more useful to you, donation or sub. Sub is much better for a reliable source of tiny income. It's something I can more depend on. Donations tend to be very inconsistent. I only get half the money for the sub, so the donation is better, but I can't rely on donations being consistent, and subs are also a way for me to give back to people, too. So just something to consider, I guess. I guess the best thing would be doing both, but again, I'm just happy to have you, so don't worry about it. Hello, Shark. Welcome. I'm still behind the chat, even though I said it in slow mode. So give me a second, because people are asking me so many questions. Beazle Bell says, will there be more Pokemon in the future? Maybe, but in a different format than previously. a lot of people got very salty, and I'm going to try and avoid that and do the... If I do more of that, hopefully, again, people don't mind that I'm just having fun and doing something different, and they just don't watch it. Like, leaving a thumbs down doesn't actually help me at all, and this is something that any YouTube channel will tell you. Leaving a comment where you politely explain, like, oh, you know, I wish you did this, you know, but, you know, you're still cute, is a great way to get your point across. But, like, if you leave, like, a thumbs down, that, I don't know, that doesn't really tell me anything. So even if you don't enjoy the non-AoE2 stuff, you don't have to watch it. It's not replacing AoE2 or getting in the way of it. It's just extra content. So if I do a good job, hopefully you'll enjoy it, but I hope it doesn't bother you that I do other things. Payne says, do you remember the 2v6 with Tato? Yes, I do. Try to forget that, though. U-Boat says, did you get my permaban question on Twitch? If you PM'd it to me, I haven't had a chance to check that out. Hopefully you don't mind, but I will get to my inbox on December 14th. Kekenston says, you should consider moving to Europe. That'd be fun. Superman says, how would you describe your fans? Absolutely wonderful, positive people that are very supportive of each other, and I want to keep that. Like, no matter how big my channel gets, I want people to come in here and feel loved. It should, Superman, you should, like, walk into the Twitch chat, or preferably my comments, but I think the chat's more reasonable, to expect it to stay pristine, I guess. You should come in here and get, like, bombarded with teddy bears that are, like, that just hug you. It should feel wonderful. And I think that when I spend this entire week, like, stressing over the most BS CS project and whatnot, I get to take one day off Friday and just sit down here and interact with so many cool people that it just feels great. We have a very supportive, friendly, open-minded community here, which is exactly what I was hoping to foster. Ice Age Coming says, God, I'm actually falling behind on the chat, and I said it in slow mode, so I'm gonna have to cut it off at some point. Ice Age Coming says, seriously, everyone would understand if you'd stop the unimportant internet crap and stick with your studies. I think there's a healthy balance. Aloha says, we love your gameplay, never forget that whatever happens here, we're always here for you. Dude, don't worry about it, but I really appreciate it. Even if I address criticisms, doesn't mean I'm, like, depressed or anything. I just think it's important that I do that. Hello, Bloody Viking, welcome to stream. Homicidal Bear says, if I recall correctly, you said something about having more time after a specific date in December. It's December 14th. Yes, I love Phoenix Wright. Sayaneski? I probably butchered your name, my apologies. I actually started a Let's Play of it, but I never finished it. It's one of my favorite game series. You can see my Steam profile pictures, Emma Sky. Someone else says, I'm hoping for more Pokemon. That's weird. I will make note of that. Some people are looking for more Pokemon, okay. I wish I actually did the Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon playthrough, because I could talk for hours about how well designed that game is. I've been loving it so much. So much. It makes me smile, man. Modiaper says, I've been following you on Twitch this month, and I think you handle your channel excellent. Well, thank you, Modiaper. It's been difficult for me. Like, I've been trying to juggle all these things at the same time, but I'll have more time December. Amro says, what unique tech should the Incas get for Eagles? Dude, no, their Eagles are just... Amro, you said instead of movement speed? Yo, whoa, 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 whoa. 1 second, guys. Hold the phone. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Where have you been, sir? Trapped in a time machine. Let me tell you, let me introduce you to your Lord and Savior, the new Incas. Incas 2.0. Cision has blessed us with this sick new set of changes. I think the Incas are great right now. Yeah, you can see it on the screen. LightX says, how's Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon so far? Amazing. Mate2 says, cam up please? Maybe. But a lot of people tell me, okay, like, I worry it'll be distracting and it might ruin the illusion. A lot of people tell me they assume that I'm either some huge black guy or a giant beard lumberjack. I don't know what you think I look like, but I would love to hear it. It's always funny. I don't want to ruin the illusion or have it be distracting, but we'll see. Superman says, I'd love to be bombarded by teddy bears. You're in the right place. Eric says, I can't really understand the criticisms against your Portuguese video. I can, though. He says he thinks it's one of the funnier videos I've done. Well, thank you. I get the criticism. I just wanted to respond to it. The criticism about, like, do I never win? I think that, like, nothing against the guy who said that, but I do win all the time. And in fact, the 2 videos uploaded before that, I did win. So it's like, even if you're frustrated that I lost, tell me, rather than just be, like, mad, just be like, Rez, I wish you would upload your wins more often because blah, blah, blah. When I see you lose, I don't like it because blah, blah, blah. And then that, you know, helps me out a lot. And I'll be like, okay, so maybe I should be focusing more on the videos where I win because maybe they're more educational, for example. Like, I'm open to that stuff. It's all in the way you phrase it, right? Henry says, I'm really worried a bit here. The bigger the channel gets, the more negative comments, and they really seem to get to you. They get to me way too much, Henry. I don't know if I'm wrong, but... And maybe I have to change my approach. But in the meantime, I'm trying my best to stick with that. Eventually, at some point, I might not be able to get the luxury of reading my comments as actively as I do and just browsing the internet to see what the world thinks. At some point, I might not be able to do that. That's sort of inevitable with any period of growth. But I still believe in the back of my mind, and I might be wrong, that, 99% of people are inherently good, and that when people troll, for example, it's because they think it's the only way that they can get attention, and, oh, that's the wrong thingy, 1 second, and when, I don't know, when people leave mean comments, it's because they think that's the only way that they're frustrated because they don't think that, their feedback is valuable, they don't think I care, they don't think I'm listening, and I just don't want that people to think that, I guess. So hopefully that's how it goes, right? Fane says Pokemon's awesome, do more Pokemon. Whoa, okay, maybe. I might do that. Scrolling down. Any people butcher your name? Okay. I should totally finish Phoenix Wright, maybe. Hello, Ryan Pax. I would like to do more tutorials and stuff, too. It's on the to-do list that I improve my channel infrastructure sometime in December. D-Shot says, can you send me some Prismatic keys? Sure, I can do that before I start this. So remind me again in 10 minutes. Lubby Doodle says, will you be hosting Twitch on Christmas Day since it falls on a Friday? That's a good question. Probably not if it's Christmas, but we'll see. I'll have to probably shift things around. Matedude says, I think you might look exactly like me. You can check on my Facebook page if you're really curious. Oh yeah, Kackenstain. Oh yeah, I'd ship that. Ambrose says, Zillion, time warp me to the past. No problem, man. Dude, your wishes have been answered. Cision literally, has been searching, Control F for your comments, and he just switched everything. This is your universe now. Denmark says, I wish I had good internet so I can watch your stream. Well, that's why I upload the VODs to YouTube. Even though some people don't seem to like them, I still would tentatively like to do that. Lukabong says, I don't like it when you lose because it makes me look bad. When I link your channel to friends who are just starting to play. Touche. Well, I try to upload the losses where I don't get steamrolled. It's just the African Kingdoms matches, it's so hard to balance the teams, and the games keep crashing or going out of sync, so I'm not sure if I should just wait on those or not. We'll see. I try to just keep a mix of wins and losses, because if I win every time, I feel like that's boring, and I think you can learn a lot from my losses as long as they don't get, steamrolled. Hello, Lego Goer. Ryan Pax says, what's the difference between Janissaries and Hand Cannoneers? Apparently, Janissaries do not have an attack bonus versus infantry. I learned that this year, apparently. Hand Cannoneers do. Janissaries have way better combat stats, though. Master Chief says, don't let the mean comments let you down, stay positive. I try. That is difficult. Managing a channel is incredibly stressful, but I don't want to change the way I do things, I guess. Maybe my approach is unreasonable, but I still would like to read everything. Or at least most stuff, if that makes any sense. Shader donated, but it doesn't seem to have shown up. Weird, because it's not in my Twitch alerts history, Liam. I can go check that. 1 second. And this is basically close to the end of my little ramble and Q&A, so after I send D-Shots and Prismatic keys, I check my PayPal. I will get started on the day. A couple other reasons. So, why do I not upload more often? Besides school, life, lots of debilitating health issues, all those things get in the way. At some point, I have to seriously reevaluate the way I do things. Okay, if your name is Nico, thank you so much, Shader. I'm assuming that you're Nico. Thank you so much for your donation. It's very, very generous. I have no idea why that didn't actually appear on the screen. So I will have to upload that. Update that. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. A2 says you don't look anything like me. What do you look like? Someone I really need to seriously reevaluate the way I do things. Also, I feel like I talk so much in my videos that it kills my voice, and that makes it harder for me to record in bulk. So maybe I should just relax a bit, pump out things a little bit more en masse. I'm not really sure. And I need to really think of more of a coherent theme for my channel. Originally, I was kind of stick to just strategy games, but then I realized that Age of Empires 2 is basically the best strategy game, and there aren't that many good modern RTS games out there, I guess. We have StarCraft 2, but that's basically it. I hope that we get another modern strategy game as good as AoE 2 at some point, but I think that the idea is I just want to make competitive games more approachable, understandable, and fun for people. I mean, that's why I started the whole channel at all, was because I was trying to get into competitive AoE 2, and this is on my old Illuminite channel, and There was no resources for competitive AoE2 at all. This is before Zero Empires, Turkman, Mr. Danish. None of those people existed. There's no Tato or anything. So that's why I did it originally, and I'm trying to keep up with that vision. Oh my god says, put up entertaining matches with twists and turns. I try to. As long as people, like, if they see me lose... Again, there's a difference between me having fun and me just being like, lol, you know, just rubbing my face on the keyboard like a cat. I don't know if cats do that, but... TK says, I think the update this week fixed some of the dropping issues. I certainly hope so. Oh, we donated to the other thing. Okay. That's weird. Mr. A says, hey, Rez, just want to say that we may be the silent majority, but as you said, the vast majority of people here are just sweet-ass people who want to have an awesome time. I know that, and thank you so much. I just want the new people who show up, they need to know that they're loved. Because there might be some people who come here frustrated and they're like, what's with the dip in quality? Like, this isn't the production quality I expect from Resonance $2,000 a minute, 22 hashtag dollar signs. I don't know. I don't know if people think that at all. I want them to know that they're loved and that I do read their comments, their voice is heard, and if they're looking for a place where they feel like they belong and someone who cares, they're in the right place. Rodvinsky says, I would like to see you do more 1v1 casting on the to-do list. It will happen. Ice Age says, do your AoE videos in the style of Laurel and Hardly Silent Film. I don't know about that. Oh my god, I'm just gonna call you, Sayana? God, you're gonna have to just tell me how to pronounce your name, man. Sayana Sky. Boom! I think that's correct. He says, has you ever played a Command & Conquer game? Yes. Red Alert 3 was so much fun. Mate Dude says, I'd like to see a long in-depth Drush guide on the to-do list. Tutorials take a lot of time. I've been so busy. Jack-o'-lantern says, hello. Jack-o'-lantern. Orion Pack says, do you think the Portuguese could stand to the Vikings on water? Absolutely. Portuguese on water are disgusting. I don't think my quality's dipped, I guess. I'm just saying that. I will do offline non-stream recording for the channel as soon as I get the time. Trust me, I'm working on it. A lot of the things, I do a lot more work than it might seem, considering that I don't live stream that often and upload that often. A lot of what I do is community outreach and just getting to know everybody on a personal level, just playing games, talking with people. There's all sorts of work that goes into the channel management that isn't seen immediately. That being said, I would like to do more, and you can expect more coming December 14th-ish. Russian accent says, are you afraid of Jar Jar Binks? Very. Hello, Overjoyed Soup. Mark says, are you going to upload more high-skilled competitive matches? Yes, but you won't find those in African Kingdoms. This is another thing. I hope people don't think that the Viper plays African Kingdoms, because if he does, surely not regularly. Or maybe he does. Maybe that was the wrong example. Competitive players don't play African Kingdoms that much. Right, so that would probably be a classic AoE 2, but who knows, maybe I could get like a show match or something like that. Offline starters content, maybe. We'll see. At some point I might do like a poll where I just ask people what they want to see. Yeah. Alarin says, well, with the breaking the meta, Byzantines go cataphract stuff. That's another thing! Alright, thank you, Alarin. That's the last question I'm going to answer, is break the meta. Let me talk about this real fast. Let's get a sip of water. Ooh! Okay. I'm gonna montage through this one talking point. Gonna finish this up, do the drawing, then we're gonna play some games. What's up with break the meta? A lot of people seem to have this different idea in their mind, and I read these comments on Reddit, I read them on YouTube, from people who presumably didn't watch the video at all, and they just, like, I don't know how they got this one. 99% of the comments that I get are nice, except the last break the meta, and a couple of them, I got some surprisingly weird comments saying things like, this isn't break the meta. Yes it is. Some people seem to think that break the meta is something different than I do, so that's definitely my fault for the miscommunication. People are like, dude, Byzantines go cataphracts all the time. In what universe? Also, the other point is that break the meta is purely about showcasing situations in expert games that we don't see very often. So Franks v Franks mirror match, even though the Franks do use throwing axemen a lot, that's not the point. That is not the point at all. The point is that you don't see an expert 1v1 Franks game very often. It's very uncommon, so I try to explore that matchup in detail. I know that 99.9% of people who watch it enjoy that, but I just want people to understand that you might have the completely wrong idea of what break the meta is. Every time I read a comment where someone's like, dude, this is what the Byzantines do every game, part of me dies inside because that wasn't the point, and I spent an incredibly long time doing notes and editing the video and everything, and those take a long time to produce. I just don't want people to miss the point. People look at this stuff and they're like, Dude, the Byzantines make cataphracts all the time. This is boring. Well, that's not what Break the Meta is supposed to be. So I just want people to understand that. And I explained this at the start of the Throwing Axeman video, so... it makes it hard for me to do Break the Meta content when people are like, this isn't what I wanted, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry I gave you the wrong impression, but I just want you to know that it's supposed to be showcasing situations that are uncommon in competitive play. So even though you might, you're familiar with the Turks' Fast Imperial Age, it's not a common thing in the expert Age of Empires 2 play. So that's the point of Break the Meta. Perhaps I named the series wrong and people just got the wrong idea, but again, for the people who answer questions on my behalf, you're the real hero, man. So thank you so much for being awesome. And hello, LB. I know I can't please everybody. I just wanted to really make that clear. Is that like if I do Britain's Mass Longwomen Break the Meta video, that's because you're never gonna see Britain's Mass Longwomen in competitive AoE 2. It's a rare thing. So even though you're used to it. That's probably because you're not 2000 rated on Voobly. Like, the point is, it's supposed to showcase expert players doing things that we don't see that often in competitive AoE 2. So it doesn't matter if it's a strategy that Civ is known for. I mean, maybe that's just the wrong way to look at it, but that's how I view the series, because there's no way I could possibly do content for it otherwise, and that's always been my vision. It is non-meta things, their toy. See, this is exactly the problem. Their TOIP says, well, if you call it Break the Meta, people will expect non-meta things. It's supposed to be a competitive meta. And Franks vs. Franks is absolutely meta-breaking for competitive AoE 2. So I just want people to understand that. This is not breaking your meta, this is breaking the competitive meta. It's a little bit different. But still, I understand where there could be, and you make a fair point there, TOIP, on the titling of the series could lead to the wrong impression. So yeah, perhaps I named the series wrong. It's something that I definitely consider, so... Whoops. Yeah, you almost pronounced my name correctly. It's Sienna Sky. Okay, phew. Ready Titty says, check this. People actually prefer you playing than your long shlong that's a caster's wet dream. What do you mean? The link doesn't actually work for some reason. Is it because of the dot at the end? I can't even read this. Oh, there is. Oh, this is a joke. Hello, Gween Traub, thank you for the sub. Henry says, the problem about the Break the Meta series is that most people don't know the meta. Yeah, but that's what I spent so long explaining during the Franks video. I felt like it fell on deaf ears, and that most people just didn't, they muted like the first 10 minutes, they just saw it and they're like, Frank's Throwing Axeman, oh my god. I thought I explained that clearly, but I guess I didn't, so, alright. Emra says, why don't we see more Japanese? I do Japanese. There's another one coming along the way. Pete says, will you ever break the meta by not breaking the meta in a Break the Meta series game? What? Call me says, hey dude. Nice playing with you a few weeks. Bad to see you streaming. Wait, what? Bad, nice to see you streaming. By the way, I donate to Rain. Oh, you saw me donate to Raynad. Okay, yes, I did donate to Raynad. Hello, Zesty. Welcome to the stream, man. I love Raynad. I support him a lot. He's definitely someone I look up to. Him and Day 9. Ice Age Gummy says, the ultimate Break the Meta video, start per normal and then switch to Pokemon a minute in. Whoa. Little lucky Lucas. Okay. That's done. Alright, I'm done with this. I've been rambling for too long. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play some games. Ryan Pax, how do you deal with an Eagle Scout Rush in Arabia? Man-at-Arms, sort of. Okay, that's it. I might post this on YouTube. If anyone wants to take the time to leave it a thumbs up and a comment. I really, really appreciate it. That stuff really helps a lot. I do value all your feedback. If you phrase it politely, I factor all that stuff in. I care. So I just want you to picture me as a giant teddy bear playing AoE 2, because that's what I do. And you're surrounded by other awesome people here. So even if I don't answer your comment directly, there are so many wonderful people here. This is a great place to make friends, and I look forward to bringing you guys more awesome, fun Age of Empires 2 content. So, stick around, be patient. December 14th, more fun stuff on the way. In terms of one last quick thingy, which I've said like 80 times, but I didn't have a script, so I'm just kind of reading off these things. What am I going to do for extra content? I have no idea. This I want to hear from you. I'm open to ideas. I've considered things like the StarCraft 2 campaign, as long as people don't mind that I'm bad. Thank you, Sporadic Panda, for the sub. Maybe African Kingdoms campaign, but I would still do something non-AoE too. In addition to that, Warcraft 3 campaigns, thinking of that. Maybe something Prismata, Pokemon related. I'm open to ideas, but it might not be viewer games. Thank you, Rubber Bar. I really appreciate that. All right, guys. I'm going to be back in about 30 seconds to a minute, and we're going to go start the drawing and then just play AoE 2. Emra says, no, I meant like in competitive and stuff. Oh, okay. Hey, Rage Quit. Yeah, thank you, Pete. I'll talk about that when I get back. So, yes. I will do more tutorials, Jack-o'-lantern, or at least I would like to. They just take a lot of work. But it's on the to-do list. And yes, Dominus. Love me that dodo. Alright. I'll be back in about 30 seconds to a minute, and then I'm going to start the drawing. We're going to play. Thank you for bearing with me here. I hope that you feel like you know me a little bit better, and hopefully that answers a lot of your concerns. So even if you're one of the comments that I referenced today, I want you to know that I love you, and that I understand where you're coming from. And hopefully you feel a little bit better. Okay, I'll see you all shortly. Don't go anywhere, because we're about to play some AoE 2. Also, I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving.